Hey, it's late. Time to go to bed. Let's get a shave in. Quick one, maybe? We'll see. As usual for August, Midnight Stag from Chiseled Face. The Nacet blade, working on. There's my three little counter dots that are the 180 decade, so today is shave number 184. Other dots on the back here, and my computer program helped me keep count. It's going down slowly. The B2 from Zenith is my boar brush this month, and I really like the way it feels. It's got nice splay, so I've been enjoying it. After the shave, I've got the same scent as a post-shave splash, and then the Nacet blade is inside of this knurled handle timeless open comb stainless steel 68. All right, so I want to do a repeat of yesterday's shave just to maybe work it on my face a little bit longer and try to improve on it just a little bit, but also just to kind of, sometimes it's good to do exactly the same thing a few times just to get a good feel for it and get good practice at it, because I'm usually a bowl latherer. So I'm going to take my boar brush out, a couple of shakes, and then load here with light pressure. Maybe the first thirds of the bristles are splayed, and it probably started, I forgot to even look when I started. I believe 45 seconds or 46 was the since if it was 46, then boom, that's 15 seconds. And it's all kind of messy because I had more water on this guy coming in. Now I'm going to rinse off this container. Oh hey, I wanted to show you something. Just got this in the mail off eBay. Ender's special speed razor. And this one didn't come with the blade pack, but I managed to buy some blades from somebody else. And so here we go. It's got a plastic handle and mounts. The head is mounted there. And it has these special blades that snap into position. I guess that's why they called it the speed razor. It's almost like an open comb here, and the blade kind of is along this plane right here. And so I'm guessing the, normal kind of handle close in shaving angle is best. I can't wait to try it. And here's why I got it, because I heard that this is one of the best injector razors out there. Not a true injector, but it does use those injector blades. And so what you do is you get one old ender blade that snaps in, and it goes in these little grooves right here. And then it snaps in and you're ready to shave, okay? And then these little tabs that hold things in will hold the blade in until you're done. Then you just flip something and pull it out, throw it away, buy another one. Well, with injector blades, you can put the injector blade in it and then dull the ender's blade so it's not coming up right to the edge. And then you can put the ender's blade and it holds, it pushes on your existing injector blade. And you can vary the distance, the depth, the closeness to this comb as much as you want, apparently. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. I'll report on it. Maybe in September sometime, but I just got this in the mail. Very interesting. They're inexpensive, $10–15. You can get these guys, and there's another one that doesn't have this corner right here. It looks more ergonomic and stuff. I think this one is the one called the Special, so I'm looking forward to trying it sometime. Wanted to show it to you. And the blades aren't cheap if you want to shave with the blades, because they're old vintage stuff, but I didn't buy it for that. I bought it to use the current injector blades and play around with those. So, all right, I'm gonna splash my face with some water. About a day's growth, maybe a little bit more, is what I've got on today. All right, here we go. Here's that brush full of soap. I'm going to dip the first like centimeter of the brush tips in the water just to kind of give it a little bit more water, since it was sitting there while I talked about the ender stuff. Yesterday when I tried this same method, 15 seconds of loading, my first pass was pretty tuggy, and that's atypical for this blade and this razor, even with so many uses. Dip again. And so what I wanted to do is give a little bit more time to developing the lather, making sure it wasn't too thick and dry. We're getting there. Let's dip one more time. Sure feels good, nice and soft on the face. This is not a scritchy or scratchy brush. Soft tips, a little bit of massage. That's what you're going to get from this guy. Also wanted to spend more time lathering my face than I had before. Maybe that's all the difference. You know, maybe I had a good lather yesterday, but I just didn't work it in and get it into my beard as well as I should have. All right. See, that's the trouble about face lathering. I've got this extra lather. Let's put it on my arm. That's the lather that I would wipe from my unshavable area right here. All right. And let's show you my Nacet blade that I've got in this razor. And there's the X down there that I put on a long time ago. And then watch out for the pinching type hazard whenever you are putting together a 3-piece razor. Very careful when slippery. All right, ready to go. See what we get this time. That's better. Not quite as good, but it'll do. A little bit of tugging, I don't mind that. Every time I say tugging over the last few months, I'm reminded of the Mike Myers movie, Love Guru. I love Mike Myers movies. It's kind of my generation and stuff. And he's pretending he's playing the part of a kind of a Deepak Chopra kind of guy. Hindu spiritualist or something like that, and self-help guru kind of thing. And it's a hilarious movie. I mean, it's right up my alley. I really enjoy it. But, well, he called his mentors Tuggin Maputa. You know, they're going for Indian names, but, you know, they're trying to be funny. And so every time I say how much tugging a blade is doing, it might be years before I stop thinking about that. All right. Now, see here, look, here's all this lather on a, there we go, on a brush lather that would just go down the drain if somebody didn't save it. I mean, it's not a big deal, really. But it's to me, it's a little frustrating when I get to that third pass and I need more lather, but it already got washed, so maybe we'll see what happens. All right, a little rinse. I'll just do kind of a half rinse, keep a little bit of the soap on my face. All right, so now, let's take this lather that's on my arm, bring it into play here. I could save it for the last, but I don't really feel like doing that. Another dip. Into the water because the brush looked like it needed a little bit more hydration. Now we can switch quickly to the painting motion. Looks good. Cross grain on my cheeks. And once you get a good wet lather in your memory, you'll feel when your lather feels a little pasty. Just add some water. I think a lot of people don't have enough water with their lathers because I think there are just some misconceptions that go around. Pictures of people with lathered faces and it's all puffy. Don't need that. Also the foam that a lot of people have used for a long time, and then they switch to this. They think they need to duplicate the look of that foam, when in reality a real lather is wetter. That wetness bonds with your skin more easily, at least it does mine, and gives you that slickness and protection. And I'm thinking that's why I'm able to get, one of the reasons why I'm able to get so many shaves out of my blades. I focus on wet lathers. That's one of my priorities. Now that I used my arm as a repository of shaving cream, of lather, I have to include it in my rinse ritual now, right? All right. So yeah, anybody who's seen my videos knows that I almost always use a lather bowl. And I measure how much water I put in. See, my lathers with the bowl are never this unpredictable. I usually don't have soap flying around unless I'm doing some kind of experiment. It's because my consistency is just always, the viscosity of my lather is kind of, once I start lathering up, it's already been established, and so I don't have these big globs flying everywhere. But I did this shave yesterday, and look, I've still got another for another touch-up. I did this same kind of shave yesterday, and it was really fast. But the only thing was that it just felt a little tuggy on that first pass. Loving the midnight stag. Got some upcoming vacation time during the month of August, and I'm going to be in confined spaces with my family. I'm going to be interested to see if I have any stag related issues. All right. Now, full rinse. I did do some sliding right here, and that's a Gillette term they coined a long time ago, where you put your razor head at a tilt so that think the old guillotine, how the blades usually weren't flat like this when they would come and chop somebody's head off. they would tilt them like this. So you got more of a slicing motion. Well, that's kind of what you should think of. And so because of that slicing, you get a better cut. And I'm hoping that I didn't stir up any irritation, because I've done that before. Let's just see with an alcohol-based splash that can alert you of any irritation. This one has some good skin goodies in there for you too, not just alcohol. Witch hazel and aloe, calendula. All right, so I'm using Midnight Stag aftershave and soap. The EDT was expensive, otherwise I might have done that. Because it's a challenge for this month, a little side challenge for those people participating in Austere August. And it was from Stephen from Dogwood Handcrafts. And he is a shaving brush handle maker. Excellent work. He's got a hybrid brush that features a wooden part and then a kind of a clear resin part that has coloring and just waves of stuff in it. You know, one really awesome one that looked kind of like space, outer space in one part, and then a forest on the wooden part, and it was, I think they called it Endor, you know, for the Star Wars fans. The wooden part is a stabilized wood, and they do something special with it. And basically you like vacuum seal resin into the wood fibers, almost like petrifying it so that it becomes like plastic or like wood. Like resin itself. That resin just gets sucked into the fibers of it, and then it can be treated like resin, and then it's not going to crack or fade or any of those wood related issues because the resin's permeated it. And it looks really neat too. And then it's got standard resin type handles that are gorgeous as well. So this is a challenge by him, and you get rewarded with a brush handle because this is his favorite scent. Nice performance too. It doesn't get super creamy like some. It's not one of the top tier soaps of late. The bases that people are loving because of the post-shave performance. It's probably fine enough for me, but I've got oily skin. But it still lays down. The soap lays down a really nice, slick layer, even though the lather itself is a little bit airy. You can see some tiny bubbles in there. And so it's a little bit of a higher structure lather. It's not gluey at all. You can see those tiny bubbles. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially with this soap. There's a lot of other soaps where you get this look, but you don't get that protective film. You don't get that layer that's just so vital. When you swipe your thumb across your sudsy fingers, it leaves an empty spot, and there's not really a secondary layer there. And those aren't good soaps. But not so with the Chiseled Face soap base that they have. It may not get that luxury cream feel to it, but it's plenty slick, does a great job. And most of all, what I love about Chiseled Face, the brand that they have, is the manly focus to their scent lineup. Gearhead, a Ghost Town Barber. It's a barbershop with a little tweak. I really enjoy that one. The Pine Tar, Midnight Stag, Sherlock. Some of my favorites there that I really enjoy from that brand. Just excellent scent profiles that I just am very fond of. All right, cleaning up now. Vented my razor a little bit here. Let some airflow. Rinsed it out. Leaving the blade in it since I'm going to be using it tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I think I'm traveling. I'm going to actually have to switch gears and put it over here on my washcloth. So in one sense, it's it's always tough to travel with certain gear. So here's the top of the blade. Almost looks new. And then here's what I'm always using as the bottom side. There's that X. And normally I don't pay any attention to the top or bottom. I just put them in however they come. In this case, I'm doing an experiment. I decided to try this razor blade on one side only. The X always goes toward the handle side of the razor. And whenever I decide to quit, maybe I'll send it off to a lab. They can look at the edge, or not a lab, but someone with a really nice microscope. I think we've got some guys out there in the shaving community that are able to do that, and just see if the edge has it deformed, or as it has dulled, has the shape changed to something, that is directional, or is it the same on both sides? I'm really curious about that. And right before I send it, what I may do is flip it over and shave with it one time and see if the experience is different at all. If it's not different, I think that's really good evidence that points to the fact that it doesn't matter if you flip your blade. That's a common newbie question. Should I flip my blade and rotate the position of my blade when I'm shaving? And the general answer that everybody's given is no. And that's the answer I believe. But this would give some interesting say in that argument. So we'll lay it on my washcloth over there. I'm going to pat it dry so I can put it in its little envelope. All right. I'll keep cleaning up. So my beef with the aftershave has been the menthol. I don't really like what it does to my eyes. After a few minutes, it switches from a burning sensation to a cooling one, and I'm happy about that. I don't mind the cooling. I'd rather it not be there, because what I'd rather smell is the actual scent. But it takes 10 or 15 minutes to get to that point where the cooling's gone and done its thing, where I get to the scent. I get to smell that. That's what I want. But I'm curious, if I do this for a month, am I going to get an acquired taste for the cooling feel? Am I going to feel like that's the end of my shave because of the way it makes my face feel, my eyes watering, am I going to miss that with some, almost like a Stockholm syndrome, We'll see. So in the upcoming days, I will be making videos, but I don't know if I'll be able to publish them. It takes a lot of bandwidth, and if I'm traveling, it may not be possible. And so I will be posting on the, I should be able to post most of the time on the Reddit wet shaving, shave of the day. And in August, it'll be the specific Austere August shave of the day thread that I'll be posting on. But odds are you'll just wait around and see me when I start catching up with stuff. But if you don't see me for a few days, that's what's going on. All right. This is good soap. Man, I enjoy this scent. I hesitated to go with this particular scent despite the nice reward, because I wanted to always be able to enjoy it. And sometimes you can wear yourself out of a certain scent if you do it for a whole month straight, especially if it's a powerful scent. If it's an easygoing something, then it's a little bit easier not to get overwhelmed with that. But if it's a strong, punchy one like this one, a bold scent, then I could see getting overwhelmed. Some people are claiming they're going nose blind to it and they don't really smell it anymore. I don't. I still really enjoy it and smell it, and I'm glad. So I don't think I'm going to get to this end of the month here and I'll never shave with this again, that kind of thing. All right, well, I'm tired. Time to go to bed. Got to get up early. Be using the 5-hour energy stuff to be able to drive a long way tomorrow, and that's what we'll do. So that's 184 uses. Cheeks almost baby blood smooth, and I've been able to achieve that. Excuse me. Been able to achieve that on most of my shaves during this blade's life. In the early days, I wouldn't have to do very much buffing. I could just do kind of a quick 3-pass shave. Then I got to where I needed to do a touch-up here and there. Then I got to where I needed to do some good buffing to be able to trim those hairs. I've tried to keep good technique though. Very light touch and wet lathers, and I believe that's something that helps me to keep going with blades farther than a lot of guys seem to be able to. Guessing here, folks. And so I'm still really happy with the closeness that I'm getting. I do see, I got a really good cut right here. Maybe 1 or 2 hairs I see some length on. So that slide apparently was just right for this shave. And I didn't even lather up again as a touch-up. But because of that film, that thin layer of slickness and a little bit of secondary slickness, because I did it right away, I didn't wait. I felt pretty protected, and I didn't have any redness stirred up in that area. I don't feel tenderness as I'm touching that, so that's really good. All right, I'm a happy camper. Hope there was something here that helped you out. You take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.